On November 5th, 2021, chaos erupted in the crowd at what should have been a normal concert, as an estimated 50,000 people gathered at Travis Scott's Astroworld Music Festival. As the event progressed and panic ensued, the crowd surged and many concertgoers trampled others, ultimately leaving at least 10 people dead and hundreds more injured. The tragedy left many questioning how the concert continued for so long, turning it into one of the most deadly concerts in U.S. history. And while details are still unfolding, ABC News gathered videos and documents from that night to piece together what we know so far. People began lining up early that morning, and by the afternoon, concertgoers began rushing past security checkpoints and into the venue. An activity log from the Houston Fire Department noted trouble throughout the day, including 54 patients being treated by medical staff before 4 p.m., and dangerous crowd conditions throughout the afternoon. Ahead of the main event, a countdown to Scott's performance began, as seen in the Apple livestream. The already packed crowd pushed toward the stage. Event mapping from Astroworld production plan shows that there were 2 stages for the festival. This day had a full lineup of performers on the second stage, and Scott as the only act on the main stage. Houston Fire Chief Samuel Pena later commented on the setup.
One of the things that we consider is to ensure that the crowds are subdivided.
However, according to an Instagram post from Astroworld, the schedule showed that at the time of Scott's performance, the crowd was not meant to be divided, as there were no performances on the second stage scheduled at that time. This meant all 50,000 fans had the opportunity to assemble at the main stage in time for Scott. At 9:02, Scott started the show. Minutes after Scott took the stage, the crowd was already surging and concertgoers were fighting to stay on their feet, just in front of the stage. Less than 10 minutes into the show, there were groups of concertgoers in distress throughout the crowd. One person even attempted to call 911 amid cries for help. At 9:25, the Apple livestream showed Scott stopping the show for the first time to draw attention to someone in the crowd who needed help.
Make sure he's good. Bilal, you walk with him. Take him.
He would stop the show 2 more times in response to the chaos in the crowd. Minutes later, further back in the crowd, medical staff responded to someone lying unresponsive in front of a reserve section.
Someone in there! People are dying. I want to save somebody's life. That's somebody's kid.
A half hour after taking the stage, Scott paused the show for a second time as an ambulance drove through the crowd. Minutes later, Sienna Faith McCarty climbed onto a camera platform asking a cameraman to help as the chaos in the crowd escalated.
Looks like folks are coming out of the crowd complaining of difficulty breathing, crushing type injuries.
At 9:38, Houston PD and firefighters responded to a mass casualty event at the Astroworld Festival, where people were being crushed against the stage and many had already collapsed.
We need somebody to help him. Somebody passed out right here.
At 9:42, Scott stops the show for a third time to draw attention to someone in the crowd who needed help, according to the Apple livestream.
Security, somebody help, jump in real quick, keep going.
Security personnel arrived to lift a limp body from the crowd. And then another.
He's not having a pulse.
Security were then seen urgently talking with each other in Houston PD. Here, an ambulance was seen in the crowd, unable to move while a man danced on top. The event plan showed that only 2 people had the authority to stop the show, the executive producer and the festival director. Police officials later told the Houston Chronicle that the promoter Live Nation agreed to cut the show short, but Scott continued his set. Scott's attorney told ABC News that Scott didn't know what was happening in the crowd during the time of the concert. And at 10:12, the Apple stream showed Travis Scott finishing the show and leaving the stage.
Everybody, I love y'all. Make it home safe. Good night!
As victims continued to be carried away. After the festival ended, questions arose about why the show wasn't shut down immediately after it turned deadly, and who should be held responsible for the tragedy. Mayor Turner later addressed the criticism that the show should have ended earlier than it did.
You want to be very careful even on when you stop things, when you've got 50,000 people that are there. So if you just stop something abruptly, you don't want to make the situation worse.
Houston Police Chief Troy Finner later released a statement on Twitter saying that he met with Travis Scott and his head of security prior to the main event and expressed concerns regarding public safety. The medical plan for the festival showed that there would be a main tent with 22 medical personnel, including 2 ER physicians, auxiliary tents with additional medical staff, and 5 ambulances. More than 30 lawsuits have since stacked up against Scott, the concert producers, and the venue. Scott was previously arrested in 2015 and 2017 for inciting crowds and encouraging fans to overrun security. He pled guilty to disorderly conduct in both instances. Scott announced that he will cover all funeral costs for the victims, additional counseling costs, and refund all tickets to the festival. He also tweeted that Houston PD has my total support as they continue to look into the tragic loss of life and is cooperating with investigators. Houston police said an investigation into the event is active and in its early stages.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.